Hey there, legends! Today, let me take you back to the dusty deserts and glorious castles of the 12th century to meet a man whose name struck fear into the hearts of Crusaders and inspired respect even among his enemies. He was known as Saladin al-Ayyubi, or simply Saladin, the Lion of Islam. But who was he really? Was he a ruthless conqueror? Or a wise king with a heart of gold? Stay tuned, because his story is way more epic than any Hollywood movie you've ever seen. Saladin was born in 1137 in Tikrit, Iraq. But guess what? On the night he was born, his father and uncle were actually fleeing the city after helping someone escape prison. Talk about being born into chaos. He grew up in a Kurdish family, trained as a soldier under his uncle, Shirka, a fierce general serving the powerful ruler Nur-ad-Dashin. As a kid, Saladin wasn't obsessed with war or swords. He loved studying poetry, religion, and philosophy. No one expected this quiet boy to become the greatest warrior of his time. Fast forward to his 20s. Saladin joined his uncle on military campaigns into Egypt. At that time, Egypt was ruled by the Fatimids, who were Shiite Muslims, while Saladin and his forces were Sunni. There was tension, but after his uncle died, Saladin surprisingly became the vizier, the top minister of Egypt. He was only around 31 years old. Imagine becoming the prime minister of an entire empire at 31. But Saladin wasn't greedy for power. Instead, he unified Egypt and Syria under one rule to face a common threat: the Crusaders. The Crusaders had captured Jerusalem in 1099. For nearly 90 years, it remained under Christian control. Saladin saw it as his duty to take back the holy city for Islam. So, he gathered his armies and began his campaigns. In 1187 came his greatest victory, the Battle of Hattin. He cleverly cut off the Crusaders' water supply under the burning sun. Dehydrated and exhausted, they fell to his forces. It was a masterclass in strategy. After Hattin, Saladin marched to Jerusalem. But here's the twist: unlike the Crusaders, who slaughtered thousands when they took the city, Saladin showed mercy. He allowed Christians to leave safely if they paid a small ransom, and even freed many who couldn't pay.
This shocked Europe. How could a Muslim ruler be more merciful than Christian knights? His honor and chivalry became legendary, even among his enemies. When Europe heard about Jerusalem's fall, they launched a third crusade led by Richard the Lionheart. This was a clash of titans. Saladin versus Richard became the stuff of legends. They fought fiercely but also respected each other deeply. Once, when Richard fell sick, Saladin sent his personal doctor and fresh fruits to help him recover. Another time, when Richard's horse died in battle, Saladin sent him 2 new horses. Imagine that, sending gifts to your enemy in the middle of war. Despite their battles, they couldn't conquer each other fully. In the end, they signed a peace treaty in 1192. Jerusalem would remain under Muslim control but open to Christian pilgrims. Both returned to their lands as heroes. Saladin ruled with justice and humility until his death in 1193. When he died, his treasury was almost empty. Why? Because he spent his wealth helping the poor and funding public projects like hospitals, schools, and mosques. His funeral was simple. There wasn't even enough money left to pay for his burial. But his legacy was priceless. He showed the world that true greatness is not just in conquering lands, but in conquering hearts. So, what can we learn from Saladin today? That being powerful doesn't mean being cruel. That being brave doesn't mean being ruthless. And that the strongest leaders are the ones who lead with wisdom, kindness, and honor. If you enjoyed this story about Saladin, the Lion of Islam, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and comment below who you want me to cover next in these epic history tales. Until next time, stay curious and stay legendary.